I also got to talk to a few folks about like purchasing products. And it turns out SOC 2 Type 2 is a for like security and evaluations of a third-party product. It's not really a big deal anymore because they want real-time SOC 2 Type 2 of work. All right, guys, we're going to the main content now, the main meaty content.
I love this library.
It is an absolutely beautiful library.
Are you a big reader?
I mean, I read a lot in general. I don't know that I've had that much time over the last year or so.
Dario Amodei is an unlikely AI celebrity. He's known for warning the world about the risks of artificial intelligence. Now, his company is an AI frontrunner, valued at nearly $1 trillion.
You're shipping so much, so fast. How are you doing that?
We use Claude, across the product development cycle, and it allows us to release very fast.
Founded by a team of OpenAI defectors in 2021,
Hello.
Anthropic started out as an
Welcome.
underdog lab. Today, it's the breakout star, wiping billions in value off software stocks, going head-to-head with the Pentagon, and creating models allegedly powerful enough to burst through the walls of modern cybersecurity.
Some of the early companies that we gave this to said things like, "This is a super weapon. Please don't release this."
Super
Guiding
weapon.
Anthropic
Okay.
through this is a sibling duo. Dario, the brother and
I do think, guys, if we were to compare Claude Code and the model to the amount of humans it would take to create the same amount of work, I think we'd need about 300 humans at this point. I think right now it's equivalent to 300 plus humans actively just to get something out on the same and produce the same amount of work, at least in my opinion.
visionary, and Daniela, the sister and operator, who puts Dario's swirling cosmic thoughts into action.
Dario and I, we've always been really close since we were little, but I think we always really wanted to do something big together.
Okay, but when you argue, who wins?
No one.
No one.
As the
No
AI
one
arms
wins.
race
Oh, that's not good, guys. She just pointed out when they argue, no one wins. That doesn't make sense because when you're a leader in a leadership position, you have to always be right? So, and then when you're playing a game, especially a competitive game, there's one winner, one loser. So they're just not admitting who's the weaker one.
The Amodeis are eager to establish themselves as the good guys. But Anthropic's technology could have profound implications for how humanity works, learns, thinks, even fights wars.
Guys, teaching people, especially non-technical people, to use Claude Code, it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. It is not looking good, guys. They really need to use co-work in the desktop applications. After doing a little thing to save the world, it's not looking good for the non-technical users. I'll tell you that right now.
Anthropic is run by an ideological lunatic.
This is a debate about what the proper use of AI by the government is.
At some point, the models become very dangerous. The bad guys will have it too. And at that point, we have to make sure the good guys have an even better model.
The name Anthropic actually comes from the Greek word for human, which speaks to their mission to build responsible AI for the long-term benefit of humanity. Can you actually do that when you're building the most powerful technology in the world? You are at the center of the AI universe right now. What does that feel like?
The experience I've had for my whole career, and certainly the whole time at Anthropic, is that there's this kind of smooth exponential. And the experience of the smooth exponential is nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. Little things happen, and then zoom, it goes crazy. So, I was watching this graph for a while, and I said, oh yeah, we'll probably become the AI company with, the most revenue and the most valuation sometime around this time. And indeed, indeed it has happened, we're just keeping in mind all the things we usually.
Man, her face, man. I don't know what face this is, but it's like a forced smile. You can see the veins in her forehead. She's definitely making a troll face, yeah. Like, it's like how, I'm not sure if it's the makeup or the age or something. Something's not looking good with his face, guys. Something's not looking good, especially the reaction. The reaction while he's trying to, like, you know, good for humanity type of thing, and then this face. Should have just stuck with a regular smile.
Keep in mind, you know, how do we train good models? How do we put them in good products? How do we make sure that everything's safe?
What were you like as a kid growing up in San Francisco? I know.
God, why'd she ask this question? We don't care about him being a kid. We care about now. What's happening now?
Your dad was a leather craftsman, your mom worked in libraries. How did that shape you?
You know, the whole, you know, like first, you know.
I don't think, unless his parents are with him right now, I don't think it should matter. But we'll see.
Internet revolution was happening around me, and I had absolutely no interest in it. I was just interested in like doing math and like scrolling things. I was interested in like, you know, understanding the universe. I was interested in science fiction. I think I just felt a lot of curiosity about the world.
What was it like growing up with Dario?
He was so smart. He was taking, you know, calculus when he was, you know, in, I think, like middle school. He took math classes at UC Berkeley when he was in high school. I was actually more into reading and arts, so we were almost like complete complements in that way.
Dario studied neuroscience before turning to AI at Baidu and later Google.
Oh, he worked at Baidu, guys. He knows what it means to work 996, guys. He knows. She just literally made a touch on it. When he actually worked there and went there, he probably knew that we were gonna lose, and so that he found the right people, the right work ethic. That you're gonna need to work. You're gonna need to create something addictive. Work more than 996. Makes sense. It's starting to make sense now, guys.
While Daniela started out as an early employee at Stripe. They lived together in San Francisco, along with Daniela's husband, Holden Karnofsky. Then, in 2016, Dario joined the newly formed OpenAI, followed by Daniela in 2018. The company began as a nonprofit that promised a safe, more open path to superintelligence.
I think we need to.
Damn, Sam still had black hair.
To think right now about how we want this deployed,
Or
how
blue,
everyone gets
brown
to benefit
hair.
from it, how we're going to govern it.
Did he dye his hair in the other image? Now I'm doubting.
How we're going to make it safe and sort of good for humanity.
At OpenAI, Dario developed the concept of scaling laws, predicting that large language models would improve simply by adding more data and computing power, even if the underlying algorithm stayed the same.
At that point in time, I know it sounds crazy now looking back, not a lot of people believed, hey, scale up is the way that these models are going to get smarter and better. That was sort of an unusual, countercultural, scientific perspective that I think was really held by our, founding research team.
That approach helped supercharge OpenAI's models, paving the way for ChatGPT. But the Amadeus reportedly clashed with Altman over the company's direction and values. Altman has said, "For all the differences I have with Anthropic, I mostly trust them as a company."
Your decision to leave OpenAI has become Silicon Valley lore. What did you disagree on?
Look, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it very simply. There are many valid disagreements to be had on safety. We certainly had some of those disagreements with them, but people that alone is not sufficient to leave. When you feel that you can't trust someone, when you feel that their values are not what they say they are, when you feel that they're not honest, that makes it very hard to, to continue to work with the company, to continue to trust the company. And look, at the end of the day, why argue with someone when you don't have the same vision and you don't trust them? The way to resolve it is you go off and do your thing, they go off and do their thing.
So this is Precita Park. When Dario and Daniela decided to leave OpenAI to start Anthropic, this is where the early team would get together. It was during the pandemic, so the story goes, and a bunch of early employees would come here, they'd pull up a chair on the grass, they'd have lunch, and they'd talk about what they were building.
When we started this company, there were 7 co-founders, of which me and Danielle are 2. And now, you know, we're basically the only company in the space that has all of its co-founders still here. You don't get to, you know, be a company of the size and scale that we are with that happening. Like, that almost never happens.
That is true.
From the start, Anthropic pitched itself as the ultimate safety-conscious AI company. Dario has published long essays with names like Machines of Loving Grace and The Adolescence of Technology, musing on the miraculous potential of AI, as well as the worst-case scenarios. Anthropic's chatbot, Claude, has been trained to follow a set of principles called a constitution, intended to keep it on the straight and narrow.
Claude has a very distinct style and feel, a human name. What are you trying to convey?
I think when people interact with Claude versus, you know, other systems, there is more of a feeling.
Nice. Maybe Claude is like similar to the oracles from what's that show? Oh man. Not Born Identity. It's that one where they predict what do you call it, when crime's gonna happen. I don't remember, but maybe they hooked it up to an alien. Minority Report. Yeah, that one. Yeah, and they named it Claude. And so it's just like hooked up to a human, and they named it Claude. Not a human, like a, you know, a super human. Who knows? Who knows what it is? AI. They hooked it up to the AI.
I like to describe it as professional warmth. So the goal is not for it to be your best friend, but it's not for it to be sort of cold, rote, calculating. It should feel approachable, but distant, right? Professional.
Anthropic has talked about teaching Claude to be good. What is a good model? What is a bad model?
You don't want a model that lies accidentally or
What's a bad model, guys? What's a bad model?
intentionally, right? Lying we call hallucinations. It makes something up. The models are just trained to predict the next words.
I mean, that's how humans do the same thing. They make things up all the time, right?
So sometimes they don't know and they just invent something. Models sometimes, as we've shown in our research, can purposely try to deceive you. We have to make sure that doesn't happen in production models that we expose to customers. And then there's a lot of work around harmlessness, just making sure that the model is not accidentally.
The one keyword she said, like deceive. Yeah, it's blame all the scammers for that. All the training data on scammers, the AI is now trained to scam and deceive people now. On purpose, because of our data. We taught it that.
Producing, information that is wrong or harmful or could cause someone to do something bad.
Whose values are being put into Claude? Like, is there a universal good? There's so many religions, so many different beliefs. Like, how do you even decide that?
So, of course, there's no universal standard for what makes something helpful or harmless, but there are founding documents in human history, like the UN Declaration of Human Rights, that we can use to train Claude's character. And I think, interestingly, on the religious front, we've actually started to have a lot of conversations with religious leaders around how should we think about, Claude the entity, and how can we bake in some of the kind of core values that are consistent across religions, types of belief, that really just transcend, a specific worldview, but that are really things that human beings have been grappling with for millennia.
Have you tried to give Claude a trait that didn't take, or was there any trait that emerged that surprised you?
I think in the early days, it's funny to look back on them now, the kind of early Claude 2 era, sometimes Claude would be almost a little bit nanny-ish. Claude was like, I'm really concerned about you. And you're like, Claude, I was asking for the weather, right? It was something really benign. Thankfully, we didn't, release most of the most egregious versions of those. But I think it is, when you think about it, it's like tuning a dial. And so our researchers have this very fine needle to thread in order to land at the center of that.
Whatever Anthropic is doing with Claude, it seems to be working. Anthropic's revenue has skyrocketed over the past year, making the company profitable for the first time. That's largely thanks to the company's focus on more lucrative business tools. Claude Code, a major leap that automated large chunks of software engineering, and Claude Cowork, which gave that power to everyone else.
Now, early on, others focused on fun, splashy consumer apps. You made a bet on coding and enterprise. Why did you make that bet? Was it a values decision or a business decision?
Look, if you pick a business model that fundamentally conflicts with your values, you're going to have a hard time, right? Either you betray your own values or you become irrelevant. And so when we thought about it, we said, look, you know, we've seen the world of social media, the consumer world, it really seems to, you know, encourage engagement, even addiction, you know, the slop we've seen with AI video models. It's like, what's going on is it want to maximize the number of minutes that you're paying attention to, because that's the advertising revenue driven incentive. Whereas if we look at enterprise, look, I mean, you know, we want to make these models useful to people. We want to use AI to you know, cure diseases that we couldn't cure before, right? Well, that's working with biotech, it's working with pharma, it's working with academic research groups. All of those are enterprises, right? We want to use AI to, like, you know, to make energy cheaper and more efficient. That's all enterprise. And so I think it served us well to have this business model that largely aligns with our values.
Soon after Claude Cowork was released,
Yeah, I think they made a great mistake, great insight, not a mistake, to target enterprise, because enterprise has the money. People like us, consumers, we have no money, guys. We have no money. It's a bad economy right now.
$285 billion
Hey Zen, what's up?
market.
I'm just gonna be like a lot of reacts these next 2 weeks, guys. It's gonna be a lot of reacts, not much. There's gonna be coding in the background. You're not gonna see it, and my attention span is gonna be like really low. But I'll pay attention to you guys. You know, just say something. You know, I'll see it. I'll hear it eventually. If I don't, try to say it again. But we're reacting to the current newly released content. Not, we just went over the old stuff, just 2 TBPN video or live streams, the first hour or so. And I token maxed too early in the morning, guys. By the time before I even started stream, I was already maxed rate limit using Fable while off stream. So yeah, with Fable. I'm trying to fix my Mac and Windows releases. So I'm trying to get it all like with high. I set a high bar, so it spawned up probably 60 or 70 agents to look at everything to make sure it's all good. And this is what happened. But to be fair, I was spawning it on 3 different machines at the same time. So we'll get there.
Value vanished overnight. Traders called it the.
But great to be back. Great to be back. It's not really it's like a chill stream. 'Cause I have to do like actual things while streaming, so just chilling.
SaaSpocalypse.
This kind of white-collar wipeout story in the software sector, terrifying.
Some of those are down for 9 days in a row, so clearly the tension is building.
If AI continues improving at this pace, how much of traditional software gets replaced and how fast?
I think with AI, like, the pie is getting bigger, right? So the existing incumbents may be smaller in relative terms. Some of them may go down in value. Some of them may even go out of business if they don't adapt in the right way. But like, I would guess that the software industry gets larger, not smaller, although there will be some big losers. Those who don't kind of see what's coming, who don't identify the moats they have, they're going to have a really hard time.
Oh my God, guys, who do not identify the moats that they have. My gosh, he's talking about moats, guys. We gotta figure out our moat. What's our moat? Is it just our personality, or could that be cloned too? Guys, I don't really see much people in security doing AI vibe coding stuff, but that's not a moat. That's not a moat. I think we'll need to slightly grow. Need to slightly interact with Reddit somehow. I saw a post by Bridgemind, or linking Bridgemind's video on Reddit involving the singularity, showing him creating like a
Bazinga!
what do you call it? A horror game on Reddit, and it had like 2,000 upvotes, and I'm like, shit, how am I gonna beat that? Should I just make games and react to them too? Just copy? Just copy? I don't want to waste able inference. He's got 3 accounts, guys. I only have 2. And until somebody buys my product, I'll probably stay at 2.
It's sort of the quiet cafe.
Okay.
Anthropic's recent growth spurt might not have happened without this man, Boris Cherny, the engineer behind Claude Code and Claude Cowork. When Anthropic hired him in 2024,
You downgrade to a smaller plan, we'll see how it goes. Sounds good. I bet if you upgrade now, you could token max in like 2 or 3 queries. The whole 2x for a new model thing is gonna have to stop eventually. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, man. It's faster than the whatever that law is for compute. It's happening in months instead of years. Like Nvidia said every year they're gonna double, right? Now it's like every month. Crazy.
Cherny was living a very different life in rural Japan.
There was a lot of farmers markets, like very slow. We were making miso. That was sort of the big hobby.
Oh, man.
And I remember using the first AI chatbot that I'd ever used, and it just took my breath away. And I was just like, oh my God, I have to just be a part of this. And I'm also just such a big sci-fi reader. And so I just know how bad this thing can go. Like this technology is incredibly powerful. And so we moved back.
You created Claude Code. You led the development of Claude Cowork. What problem were you trying to solve?
If you look at the coding products, they were all pretty simple. It was sort of like, like
Guys, he knew that Linux and Bash were needed for Claude to do anything. He knew it. He knew it, guys. All this other stuff wouldn't be successful without it.
complete the word, complete the sentence. That was the extent of AI in coding. And we just wanted to make a way bigger bet. And our bet was, we think actually a coding agent can do all of it. A year and a half ago, you wrote the code by hand. And sometimes you press tab and it would autocomplete a line. Now I talk to my Claude and it writes the code. And then while it does that, I talk to the next Claude and it writes some code. And at any point, I have either like a few Claudes running and up to a few thousand Claudes running, doing things.
How much code is Claude writing internally for engineers here?
It's writing almost all of it. On my team, so for me personally, it's been writing 100% of my code for at least 6 months. The work of engineering has just completely changed. I feel like I suddenly have superpowers. I have like a jetpack.
Exactly, guys.
And engineering has...
I feel the same way, guys. And when that jetpack is taken away, it sucks. It sucks, guys. It sucks. I mean, my jetpack's being taken away every 5 hours.
never been this fun.
Can we give Claude a spin?
Yeah, let's do this.
Can we give it a spin? Jeez. God, jeez, it's so nerdy now. Let's give it a spin, guys. Here's my computer.
Make like a little recipe app. So make a recipe app.
Oh my God, he's actually typing, guys. He's not using the slash voice. Man, so much opportunity there. Yeah, I remember you. It's only been 3 days. Of course I remember everybody. It's only been 3 days. Yes, I remember. Welcome.
What do you want it to do?
I would love it to suggest.
Dude, all she had to say is, I want it to sing to me. Sing me a song. That's all she had to say, and then it would probably be some banger.
Best meals.
Yeah, using it this way, maybe not for Emily at all. Wrong type of thing. He's probably like, man, this is gonna be a shit show, guys.
For the week.
So, this is gonna take maybe a few minutes.
Few minutes for a recipe, guys. Ay. He literally said few minutes. Is he using Fable? He better be using Fable. Let's see. Cloud Enterprise. Oh my God, guys, this is 1.212, guys. Guys, that doesn't make any sense. How long ago was this recorded? Guys, we're on 2.1.173. Damn, guys, this is old. This is old, guys. This is old.
And let's just
They should have never showed that, guys. They should have never showed that.
what builds this.
Oh, it gave me some options.
Oh my god, look at that. Look at that site, guys. Not so good, guys. Not so good. ChatGPT could generate something better than that, guys. What the heck is this? Lemon, garlic, salmon, and greens. Guys, we live in the future. We're still eating this? Come on. Look how far we've come, guys. Look how far we've come. Jeez. Weekly dinner flyer. Oh, and of course, it generates it in a HTML file. Guys, what kind of user is going to use this? Remember Office 4? I remember. Yeah.
Let's do.
Dude, look at her face. She's like, huh, I don't want to eat any of this. This looks disgusting. And this is just text.
Yeah, sure.
I could do a Greek chicken power bowl.
Okay.
When I click on a recipe I want.
Man, what is this, Boris? Come on. He's guys. He's too much of an engineer. He should have had his sister come, or not his sister, somebody else come in.
I want it to show me how to do it.
Like, why is she saying it as she's typing it? She should just say it. We live in the future now, guys.
Thank you.
Of course, gotta say thanks.
I'm sure Claude appreciates
Yeah, and then when she looks at the screen, she's just seeing all these like red, green, all this other stuff, text going by. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm hacking.
I always try to say thank you.
Yeah, I always try to be nice too.
I don't know.
A recipe app might not be the most mind-blowing demo of Anthropic's
Welcome to
technology,
Costco.
but what
I
Claude
love
Code
Hello,
just did
welcome.
in minutes used to take hours or days. For some, that looks like a big opportunity.
They used to create a recipe, guys. Let's go backwards. What did she just say?
Used to take hours.
But what Claude Code just did in minutes used to take hours. Okay, got it. Used to take hours to create a recipe. I mean, a quick Google search would tell you, right?
Or days. For some, that looks like a big opportunity.
Are you like nervous about next week, or is it like
What's next week?
your developer conference?
Oh, yes, yes. There's so many things happening every week.
All right, this is before that
Year-over-year,
conference.
API volume is up nearly 17x on the cloud. In the last 12 months, we shipped 8.
6 months from now, you will be talking shit on Fable, bro. Stay humble. Yes, it's true. Well, even now, Fable's making lots of mistakes, but it's going to be 2 times better next month, guys. Every month, new model. Because of the self-learning thing and the AI is actually able to create its own model, guys, maybe next week, we might get a new model. Soon, it's just going to be like Claude Code updates. It's going to be like 10 updates in a single day on the model.
Frontier models to developers and users.
Welcome to the second annual Code with Claude conference, where Claude superfans come hoping to get a glimpse of the future.
I can't wait, guys, till they create a new version of Git where you don't need to create pull requests or merge into anything. It's just going to update, guys. It's going to be like Elixir, OTP. It's just going to update. No PRs needed, guys. No source code updated. It's just automatic, updates. Crazy. For models.
Having a lot of fun. There's a ton of adrenaline.
This is the first year.
Adrenaline. Where's the adrenaline coming from, guys? Everybody's going to get adrenaline from their laptops and prompts, guys. We're getting dopamine. We're not getting adrenaline, guys. Unless we're like Bridge Mine and we create horror games for ourselves. Right, I'll spawn the adrenaline, guys.
Faster than the exponential. In the first quarter of this year, we saw, if you were to annualize it, 80x growth per year.
Ooh.
80x, guys, I was just saying that. Like, we're talking about double. Heck, they're just doubling a model within a month. So how many more times do we need? So it's 2, then 4, then 6. Oh, sorry, 2, then 4, then 8. It's exponential. How's the calculation? Let's see here. Oh, I don't even have it. No, I don't even want to do the Google search, guys. We'll figure it out later.
I
use Claude.
Or somebody tell me in chat what it is. Just do the google.com/AI. And how many iterations will we need to get to 80x in 1 year? Is it like 5, 6? See, it's like 40, right? 40, then 20, then 10, then 5, then 2.5, and then yeah. So it's 5 iterations, guys. It's gonna double 5 times every year. Wait, let me go back one more time. 80x growth per year. So we're gonna have 5 releases per year. We released 2 times already. We got 4.8 and Fable this year. So there's gonna be 3 more models. And you know what that means, guys? It's gonna double in token usage every year, or like 5 times. So damn, imagine 80x token costs. But we're hearing all these like supply chain issues of what do you call it? That they don't have enough compute. They don't have enough data centers and they don't have enough electricity. Where's that all gonna come from? I mean, it is getting pretty hot right now. It's like really hot, and I think it's from all the data centers, guys. It's from all the data centers.
Growth per year.
Ooh.
To do all sorts of stuff, not just write code. I write way more code than I did 5 years ago. I've got the confidence.
Guys, he's not writing the code. We're not writing the code. It's Claude writing the code.
Of, I don't know, a 22-year-old with VC money. I'm not 22.
My friend invited
I can
me,
tell.
and it's amazing as someone that's not really technical. I think it's really interesting just to see what everyone's.
Guys, when we see all the non-technical users using Claude Code, it's a disaster. Guys, it's a disaster. And I can tell you that I just experienced it in person. I experienced it in person, guys. People are like, how do I prompt? What do I say? And then like, am I like logged in? Do I just open my terminal and just type in, my prompt? Oh my gosh. It's not looking good for the non-technical users, guys.
Working on what's out there.
I think the concerning part and the exciting part is, hey, they can do things that we couldn't dream of and timelines we couldn't ever expect. But the kind of alternate side of that reality is you really have to be prepared because they will really be 1,000 times more productive.
No, we're not 1,000 times more productive. We just work 10 times longer. Maybe 1,000 times longer than we usually work. Possibly.
All of this raises an obvious question. Will engineers be the first casualties of the AI they're building?
It's been revenge of the nerds for a while. Is that over?
I think we all become nerds.
Oh.
But what happens to the actual nerds?
I think the actual nerds, well, they have to figure it out.
The actual nerds will have to figure it out. Thanks, Boris. Thanks.
Yeah, I think for a lot of them, the skill that they had before is going to help them in the future because they sort of have a pretty big head start. They do a lot of things that are not coding. Engineers also have to talk to users. They have to plan. They have to think about what's next. So I think these are still parts of engineering that are going to stick around.
Silicon Valley may have AI fever, but elsewhere, the mood.
Guys, I see these everywhere. When I drive to my local wherever, we see all these different AI billboards. And it's so funny because like, do they still work? These are people like stuck in traffic looking at these billboards. What are they gonna do? Type on their phone while they see the name of the company? I don't think so. Unless the people are in an Uber or a Lyft or a Waymo and they're looking outside, they're just looking at everything like, oh, what's that? Look it up on their phone. And then what? What's going to happen after that? Is there going to be yes, there's going to be a Sigma Shake billboard. Guys, if we get enough funding Beginning of fiddling, I will create a billboard and I will have it in front of the main street people drive through on their commute to work, guys. It's just gonna be Sigma Shake, and it's gonna play the listen to the song Sigma Shake.
Mood is less upbeat.
And then I'll get more viewers. That's like the best marketing strategy. If only I had 20 grand, guys. I just need 20 grand. Maybe, let me check. Guys. Let's do I haven't done this in a while, guys. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't Googled stuff. But let me check it out right now, guys. You should get a bus. Not the bus, no. I'm a fan of the billboard, but not about the bus. The bus, I don't know. Maybe, guys. Put the marketing on the bus that drives around the blast music, the Sigma Shake song. Oh, okay, there you go. Maybe you're right. How much does it cost to post an ad on a billboard on the 101 freeway or in Silicon Valley for the main commute to Mountain View, San Jose to San Francisco? How much is that going to cost? Let's see, guys. How much does it cost? $35,000 per 4-week cycle. All right, guys. We're gonna need some donations, and we're gonna need people to buy my product at an enterprise level. Only then I will get that ad, guys. Only then I will get that ad. Okay? Make a deal. Shake. We Sigma Shake on it, guys. We Sigma Shake on it.
70% of Americans think AI will kill jobs, and nearly a third worry theirs will be one of them. Dario Amodei has been outspoken about this issue, and some of his predictions don't.
Guys, I watched the video on Boris saying, a person asking him, so what do you think, what is the next step for Claude Code and AI with coding? And he says, first thing he says, cybersecurity, guys. Cybersecurity. That's the first thing he says. Let me find that interview. All right. So I'm not making up stuff. Let me see, guys. Let me see. Let me figure it out. It's one of these guys. Here it is. Here it is. All right. So I'm not making stuff up. He said this on live television, okay? All right, let's pause it. When does Boris say cybersecurity? All right, you guys. You ready? Ready?
Security. Mythos has become such a big topic. How are you thinking as we move towards a world where the AI agents are doing a lot more to make sure that there are not vulnerabilities and that you can trust the agent in a certain way?
It's extremely important. Security is one of the top things that we care about as a company. For us, safety is the most important thing, and there's a lot of different dangers when it comes to safety. Security is one of them. We've now reached a point where the models are exceptional at finding vulnerabilities in every kind of software that exists. It's just this was not the case even 3 months ago. This is a phase change in the way security works. The threat models are new, the way the dynamics are totally new, and for us, the thing that we're focused on is making it so the good guys have the best model first. So they can defend software, they can find the vulnerabilities, they can patch it before the bad guys can get access to it.
Do you expect Mythos to roll out more widely to a broader group of, say, developers that are in this room?
We have no plans to roll out Mythos broadly.
Fair enough. I mean, but
dude, this man, he said this, and then it was only a month until that decision was reversed, guys. It was only a month. We got something better than Mythos.
Can the average person trust that they can really give all of their work to an AI agent? I think that there is sort of this disconnect of wanting some sort of human intervention if something does go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, every task is different, you know, like you learn the balance. One of the things that I have to relearn with every new model is it just gets better and better and better and better. And I think sometimes people forget, if you use the model, you know, a year ago and it didn't work very well, but then you use it today, it's just such a big difference. And so I think that one suggestion I would have is just like keep trying it. Every new model release, it's completely different. It gets more and more capable. So just keep trying it and see if it works.
What about competition? OpenAI has really also tried to move into this space. How important is the developer community to staying ahead? And if you are ahead, how far do you think, how far of a lead do you think you have versus some of the others out there?
Yeah, Kate, for us, developers have always been the top focus. Coding has always been the top focus. Enterprise has always been the top focus, and that focus isn't changing. So for us, I talk to users every day. I build the things as a developer that I would use that is also useful for other developers. And this just is not changing.
But how important is this group? It seems like this...
No. There was this other thing, like, why, was it the beginning? Maybe it's the beginning, huh?
Into this role, what does your day-to-day look like? And tell us about sort of your journey here. You lived...
Let's see, let me ask again. What does he say about what's the most important thing for the future? Maybe it was another talk, He said, let's see, emphasizes safety is the most important thing. Yeah. He believes fundamental skill, empowerment. Oh, okay, never mind. I probably have to listen to another video about it, but he mentions it.
Don't exactly sound reassuring.
I think we could have this very unusual combination of very fast GDP growth and high unemployment, or at least underemployment, or low-wage job, a lot of low-wage jobs, high inequality.
You've been really direct about job loss. AI could eliminate half of all entry-level white-collar jobs in the next 1 to 5 years. That was a year ago. AI has moved incredibly fast. Is it still 50% or is it higher?
I don't know exactly, but I'm still pretty concerned. I'm still the same order of concern. We are seeing right now that AI is making people more productive, but that's the usual hump. You automate 90% of the job, great. People are 10 times more productive in the other 10% because they're 10 times more leveraged. But eventually it gets close to 100%. Now, the sequel to that is, well, then you have to find something else for them to do. Right now, AI makes the software engineers more productive, even though AI writes all the code or almost all the code. But we're already starting to see the beginning of, there may be some people that it's not making more productive, that it's better for the AI to just do the thing.
How does that sit with you?
It's very uncomfortable. I think this is the reason why I chose to go to Anthropic. And I think this is the reason that a lot of people here chose to go here, is artificial intelligence is this force that is far bigger than we are. But here we can hopefully make it go a little bit better.
Do you feel like it's your job to do something about that, or is that someone else's problem?
I think it's a thing that we have to talk about. We have to advocate for it. Ultimately, it's up to society to solve it. This is bigger than one company.
There has been a lot of pushback on, and I know you've said you're trying to warn people, but that, Jensen Huang said you're conflating tasks with jobs.
AI is creating jobs. Anybody who is saying that AI is wiping out jobs is scaring people.
Other folks have said this, it's sort of doom marketing that benefits Anthropic.
So I want to be really clear and push back hard against this. In every interview, I talk about the possible ways to address these risks, from tax and macroeconomic policy to what the new jobs are. In the adolescence of technology, I have like 5 pages where I lay out the difference between tasks and jobs, why this time is different than other times. But social media, which I detest as a category, people have these 3-second clips from a year ago. I've written much more carefully about these things where I talk about the risks. So these are the idea that this is cheap marketing is itself cheap marketing. I think it's part of the disease of Silicon Valley. It's been caught up in this social media world of 3 seconds. And so my message is just definitely not doom is coming. My message is like, this is something, that we should see coming, that we're worried about, and that we need to actually respond to positively.
Beyond the software industry, the potential impact of AI on jobs seems harder to predict. Anthropic has published a paper estimating which fields could make the most use of AI in the near future. If its predictions are right, management, finance, and legal jobs could soon look very different.
Which jobs go away? Who gets replaced?
Oh, sorry, I was going. There's a diagram we need to go over. Let's see here. I think we've seen some of this before, guys. The impacts. All right, we have management. All right, guys, management's in trouble, guys. No wonder the C-levels are telling all managers to start using Claude Code, guys. This is what's happening. It's impacting the role. Next, business and finance. Okay, how we do business. All right. Finance. I guess, yeah, it does the number crunching for us. We won't really need like people to do the crunching for us anymore because it's all textbook stuff. Computer and math. Makes sense? You know, AI is on a computer and math. Architecture and engineering. Architecture, I don't know, guys. When we saw the 3D meshes in Blender, that did not look good. So it's still like it's getting lower, not up to the high standard, but I'd say it's pretty low right now. Life and social scientists. AI doesn't have access to the physical stuff right now. We have to give it all the data. Legal, yeah. Social services. I guess we're not training it to help everybody, so makes sense. Makes sense. Arts and media, yeah, it's already doing that. What's all this other stuff here? Protective service, healthcare, food serving. Oh man, guys, we need to figure out how it can create food for us. We already have the farmers and the machines and stuff. If AI could operate all of that, we won't have to worry about food, guys. What's this? Grounds maintenance. Huh. Is that like plumber? Plumber? Should we just start becoming plumber, guys? Soylent Green is people. Yeah, it's going to throw all the people that aren't productive in society and turn them into Soylent. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be a headline, right? Like, we finally found a purpose for all the people that aren't doing anything. Aye. Transportation. Why is it not helping here, guys? Maybe when we get quantum, guys, figure out how to teleport people. And then this could go to max. Production. Guys, what even is max? Does that mean like 100% of all jobs completely wiped out? Similar to like a tape recorder or something like that? Or a person that types on the keyboard to transcribe stuff? Office and administration, sales. And it's not making me sales right now, guys. I'm gonna need to get to work on the sales portion. Personal care. Oh, okay.
Could soon look very different.
Which jobs go away? Who gets replaced? And what new jobs are created?
So no one knows for sure, because, you know...
Wait. No one knows for sure? These guys should know. Wait, say it again.
What new jobs are created?
What new jobs are created? Of all the people, this guy should know.
So no one knows for sure, because...
Clip that.
You know, the economy is unpredictable, right? The thing that...
Economy is unpredictable. It just said that it's really good in like financial and accounting stuff, right?
That we have going for us here is the pie is going to expand a lot. And so because the pie is going to expand a lot, there are probably going to be places where people can go. It's just a matter of finding them fast enough.
Places to go. Okay.
So play this out for me a little bit.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you wake up in 5 years.
Yep.
You know, what does this country look like? What are
What does this country look like? It's idiocracy, guys. We're just gonna be like all in front of the TV, you know, drinking Gatorade. You know, no one's working anymore. We're just being told what to do by machines. Yeah, doesn't look too
those
good.
people doing?
Yeah,
Because if
so-
there's that much unemployment, is that not how?
Damn, that much unemployment. Whew. I wonder if I'll still be making something, guys.
Revolutions start?
Yeah, no, this is the outcome we want to prevent. This is absolutely the outcome we want to prevent. I think there's a few places. None of them are guaranteed, we're not sure, but there's the physical world.
Okay, the physical world. So the digital world is all gone. My job is gone, guys. This one thing of streaming entertainment, it's gone. It's gonna be taken over by an AI version.
We need a lot of more people to make, build, manufacture things in the physical world. Anything that's human-centered. I think that's going to be a big deal, right? People, or at least some people, want to talk to humans. So these kind of human relationship-driven jobs, like, I think those are going to be important. And I think there'll be some effort by the humans to kind of direct the AIs, right? At some level, it has to be in line with someone's values and someone's intention.
So there's gonna be a boss of the AI that's human. Interesting. We'll still need a human.
And so I think there's going to be some role there, although I don't know how thin versus how thick it will be.
Maybe there's gonna be some guy connected to AI using the neural link thing with Elon Musk making, and you're just gonna be there just controlling all the AI, and you'll be the boss. It might be this guy. It might be this guy, guys. Or it could be Elon.
I think I feel a little bit more hopeful that humans will continue to find ways to leverage AI to be productive, to do the parts.
Guys, when I went out to the real world, guys, nobody cared about AI. Is that already on? Yeah, possibly. Guys, when I went out to the real world, and I went outside, touched some grass, no one cared about AI, guys. No one cared about AI. It was just like the stock market being down, and then no one cared. People just living their lives, doing what they normally do to make money.
Of the work that are meaningful to us that only humans can do. I think the human-to-human interaction will never fully go away. The example I often reach for is what will happen in medicine.
Right, human-to-human interaction will never go away. Okay?
Today, we hire doctors who are expert diagnosticians. I think AI is going to soon be pretty good at telling you what the suite of options of things that are wrong with you and what tests to run, and you won't need a doctor to do that.
True.
But an AI can't physically examine you and say, hey, does it hurt when I press, here? They can't have a bed.
They'll tell you what to press on your arm or leg.
Bedside manner with you that says, like,
I think, guys, we're gonna reach a level where, like, there'll be like the Xbox, Connect or whatever, where it scans your whole body and stuff, and then you'll be able to like press on wherever it tells you to press, and let you know if you're hurting there or not. Tell you like what's the rating when you touch this? Is it a 10, a 3, or 0? It's gonna be like that.
tell me how you're feeling about this. How are you coping with going through this process? And I think we're going to pivot something like medicine to be much more focused on the interpersonal, because the diagnostic tools are going to become much better. But the interpersonal human part, that's not going to change.
Explain this to me. Daniela runs day-to-day operations. All the leadership team reports to you.
Yes.
No one reports to you. That sounds like a pretty sweet job.
It's incredibly freeing. It lets me do all the things that I...
Nobody reports to Dario. Wow. And they all report to her. Okay, makes sense, makes sense.
do much more easily than I would otherwise.
And she does all the work? Is that what you're saying? I'm just...
If you had to go through the things I had to go through during DOW or
Math majors aren't usually people. That is true. So then she will have the job, and then this guy, they could just kick this guy out. He's not needed anymore. Dario's not needed anymore, guys.
No.
The Amadeus hope AI can have a utopian influence on society.
Utopian. Oh my. She said the word, guys. She said the word.
But there's no denying the technology's destructive and dystopian potential.
And she said two of them. Utopian and dystopian. Combo.
Anthropic is at the center of a technological arms race, with powerful governments vying for control.
Wait, guys. This was generated by AI. Who else adds these, color things to the text, guys? Plus, look at how bad it is. The wording placement here. It has it viewed at the very end, guys. Could they really trust the AI to? I mean, we now know that they're using AI and stuff, but still, we're starting to see it, guys. We're starting to see it. It's everywhere. The AI slop everywhere.
Dario has charged head-on into this arena. He's not afraid to blast his competitors.
Guys. All right. You might agree with me. You might not agree with me. Okay. Let's fast forward
Dario
just one
has
frame.
charged head-on into this arena. He's
All right.
not afraid
Second.
to...
All right. Look at that face, guys. Look at that face. All right. Now, what does that face remind you of? Does it remind you of something? Does it remind you of something? A rich man. A rich man. Oh God. Reminds me of this. It reminds me of this guy. Maybe Dario's just an actor after all, guys. Maybe he's just an actor. He's just missing all the robo woman. Heck, this is probably it, guys. This is the future that we're heading towards. This is the future that we're heading towards, guys. It looks just like him. Just like him. You spot the difference, guys? Can you see it? Can you see it?
blast his competitors.
And then I think there are some players who, who are YOLOing, who pull the wrist dial too far, and I'm very concerned.
Who is YOLOing?
So
who is YOLOing? Guys, I can only think of one person that is YOLOing right now. Everyone. There's everyone, but there's nothing more interesting than what do you call it? There's too many people YOLOing, guys. No one wants to keep clicking enter anymore, guys. It's the year 2026.
Answer.
Or critique the US government and Anthropic's own partners for selling AI chips to China.
It's a bit like, I don't know, like selling nuclear weapons to North Korea. I've been very outspoken about the need for export controls on chips to China. I say this because I think it would be really bad for America, for the state of democracy in the world, for China to be ahead in AI capabilities. And it's like some of the chip makers obviously don't agree with that view, but it hasn't stopped me from saying it. Even after we've signed more partnerships, I'm sure they wish we didn't say these things, but these things are what I believe. And so, look, we're all adults here. We can work together on one thing while disagreeing about another thing.
Amade's statements about geopolitics date back to his days at Caltech. As a sophomore physics
Caltech,
student, he
guys.
developed a reputation.
Yep, Caltech, one of the best schools in the world. Has the best weather too.
As an anti-war advocate who believed scientists shouldn't sit in ivory towers. It's a worldview that would later define Anthropic's position on the future of war.
You've had a long-standing anti-war stance, and yet you were one of the first AI companies to sign a contract with the Department of Defense to operate on classified networks. These
Everybody's saying it wrong, guys. It's the Department of War now.
are the networks that the U.S.
Man, how old is this recording? Is it like 2 years old?
uses to fight wars. Explain that.
Look, I mean, the world changes. Like, you know, my view of this technology, you know, when I see Russia invading Ukraine, when I see the risk of China invading Taiwan, you know, it worries me that we have a kind of resurgent authoritarian bloc, that they're very aggressive and that we need to defend ourselves. You know, I may not agree with every policy.
Wait a second. For some reason, I was looking at this and I thought it was like
invading
for a
Taiwan.
Second, I thought it was something else, a different country, but no. I've been here, guys. I've been here. I have a picture and everything, guys. I have an up-close picture of this guy. And I'm surprised they cleared the road for this. But, guys, it was hot, and the air is as toxic as this haze right now. Like exactly like this. You see how far in the distance over here? There's like this little haze. That's what we're breathing every day. It was bad. They must have did something to clean up the air in this picture.
You know, it worries me that we have a kind of resurgent authoritarian bloc, that they're very aggressive and that we need to defend ourselves. You know, I may not agree with every policy of either administration, but, you know, that's why we've generally been supportive of this.
You've been working with Palantir since 2024.
That's right.
You know, their technology is used by ICE, police departments in Gaza. Is Claude being used for surveillance in other ways?
We don't work with ICE either through Palantir or any.
Did you see his sweating? Guys, what's that reaction? Let's look at it one more again. He's asked this question. All I had to say is no.
In other ways?
We don't work with ICE either through Palantir or anyone else. We don't
Okay.
work with
All
CBP.
All right.
I don't believe we work in Gaza. We're very careful about, you know, scoping our engagements to things that we believe in.
In 2020.
Yeah, this must have been really, really long ago because we have the kidnapping of that guy in Mexico or Cuba or something like that. And then, yeah, Palantir saying that they can't switch over to Codex or anything like that because it's not good enough. Yeah, he's not doing his job.
2025, Anthropic, along with OpenAI, xAI, and Google, won a $200 million contract with the Pentagon. Anthropic framed it as an opportunity to become the leading AI vendor for the government. Claude was reportedly used by the U.S. military in the operation to seize Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Weeks
It's Venezuela.
later, everything started to unravel.
We bring you breaking news from Anthropic.
Yeah, so that interview was that long ago, guys. It was before all that.
The Department of Defense demand that Anthropic allow full use of its AI technology without guardrails.
Anthropic drew red lines, refusing to let Claude be used for mass surveillance and autonomous
It's too late. It's too late. It was already being used.
weapons, putting the company on a collision course with the Pentagon.
The tech giant facing a deadline today to accept conditions or be blacklisted.
Does a commercial entity have the right to determine how their products are used by the military?
No. Guys, he worked at Baidu. In order to exist, you have to bow down to your local government.
Lawsuits were filed, and Anthropic was banned from the Pentagon, underscored by strong words from President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Anthropic is run by an ideological lunatic who should
Damn.
shouldn't have
But that's not my
sole
question. My question is AI
decision
writ
making over
large.
what we do.
Do you mind being called an ideological lunatic or a bunch of left-wing nut jobs?
You know, I've been called worse things than that all the time.
What does winning this fight actually look like?
I won't even call it a fight. This is more a debate about what the proper use of AI by the government is. And AI is an emerging new technology. We don't understand the ways in which it's reliable or unreliable. We don't understand the ways in which it promotes our values or undermines our values. And so one of the things that I thought was important was to establish a precedent on some of the use cases we think are good, which frankly is most of them, and some of the use cases that we're concerned about.
A U.S. official has said, with the help of LLMs, the U.S. military has gone from being able to hit 1,000 targets a day to 5,000 targets a day.
Christ.
That means Claude can help kill more people more quickly. Are you comfortable with that?
Basically, you're asking, like, you know, do you believe in this country, right? Do you want this country to be a more powerful actor rather than a less powerful actor on the world stage? I do. I'm a patriot.
Yep.
It's not up to me.
Yep.
If you provide
See, you can't have both, guys. You can't have both. You can't have both. He now understands.
the technology, it's not up to us to say you can do this military operation and you can't do that military operation. Now, I might privately believe that this military operation makes sense and that military operation is a bad idea, but we're not going to deny the technology. You basically have to, you have to leave policy in the hands of the military decision makers.
Bloomberg has reported that Claude is being used by the U.S. military in the war in Iran to do AI-assisted targeting via a platform made by Palantir Maven Smart System. In February, a U.S. missile reportedly hit a girls' school in Iran, killing more than 150 people, most of them children. Did Claude play a role in that strike?
We don't know exactly how.
They have the logs, guys. They have the logs.
These models were used, obviously, like, these things that mistakes that happen in warfare are really, really terrible. Like, this is a really terrible thing to happen. We were willing to risk the future of our company to, like, limit how, these models are used. And, what you're talking about is a use case that doesn't even violate our red lines. We're worried that there will be 100 times.
It doesn't violate the red lines, guys.
Times as much.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like whether to launch a nuclear bomb or to generate a virus that only affects certain people. Scary stuff, guys.
With use cases that do violate our red lines. Now, again, I would say I think overall the use of these models is appropriate. I think it's good on net. But military decision makers make terrible mistakes, even at the best of times. And I don't know if we're in the best of times. What we've seen here is Claude assists, but a human makes the final call. So a human made that final call, not Claude. Imagine if you had a world in which...
I don't know, man. We're starting to like auto mode. Dangerously set permissions. / goal. Teams. I don't know.
Not Claude, because we haven't allowed it. But
Not Claude. Not Claude, guys.
Someone else's AI model, the AI model just makes the decision and the human never sees it. That's what we were standing up for. That's what we were fighting against.
This school had a website. You could have found it in a Google search. Like, shouldn't Claude have spotted that? And does it speak to a scarier issue about using technology?
Guys, no one knows how to prompt. No one knows how to prompt. The guy who prompted whatever it is that happened needs to let Claude do the prompting from now on.
Technology as a shortcut in war.
The principle that was obeyed here is a human makes the final decision. I don't know what role Claude or any other AI had, but like, if this isn't an illustration why that principle is so important, I don't know what is.
Is AI warfare more likely to stop World War III, a war between the US and China, or is it more likely to make it happen?
I would say on balance, it is more likely to stop it. But if we have no limits on how it's used, then I think, it could be more likely to cause it. You've seen Dr. Strangelove, right? The premise of it was like, you have a doomsday device that automatically fires nuclear weapons when it thinks nuclear weapons are being fired at it. What could go wrong, right? I think the way conflicts happen is that, the two sides jump at each other. They misunderstand each other. And when we don't have proper oversight of this technology, I think those kinds of accidents are more likely to happen. Now, I think if AI is used in an appropriate way in not even warfare, but think of just intelligence collection, let's say we're able to, predict an invasion of Taiwan or a new movement in Ukraine, our adversaries will think twice about about conducting some kind of invasion or military operation if we know everything that they're doing.
Oh,
AI's role on the
wait. He just said we know everything that they're doing, and he just said he's anti-surveillance. Uh-oh.
Raises difficult questions, even for a company willing to debate the ethical dilemmas of its own technology. It's a conversation Amadei seems eager to have in public.
How do you handle the pressure?
I try very hard to communicate and always be straightforward and honest. I get up in front of the company every 2 weeks and just talk for an hour about just what's on my mind, what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the outside world. It's totally uncensored. And not only does it build trust, it's very freeing for me, where I feel that I have 3,000 people who are on the same page as me. That is an incredible amplifier and is one of the most useful things in handling the pressure. Then when we have to confront an external challenge, stand up to, some very difficult situations that we've seen in the last few months, that is what allows us to have a consistent and coherent position. And I think it's an incredible advantage because I never feel like I'm alone.
Guys, you know what? He should just be live streaming himself every day. Every day, guys, so we can see what he's up to.
Lurking in the background at Anthropic's headquarters was the surprise development of a new AI model called Mythos. A model so powerful, it spooked everyone.
Anthropic's making headlines almost on a weekly basis,
Yes.
and most notably now around Mythos.
The company believes it's this enormous threat.
Imagine a world where everyone had a nuclear bazooka, basically.
Mythos identified thousands of
Nuclear bazooka. Everybody has a nuclear bazooka on their computers, guys. Damn.
cybersecurity vulnerabilities, exposing potential flaws in every major operating system. Anthropic
Guys,
signaled that if
oh
fully
my
released,
gosh, I forgot to say there's been like a few attacks on the supply chain for Claude. Like any auto update to Claude updates all of our agents, and then it could just be compromised. It's there's a few articles about it already. We'll see.
could hack banks, pry open state secrets, and cripple critical infrastructure.
I think the thing that surprised me most about it was the models had been climbing in their ability to find vulnerabilities. It was a particularly large jump. Some of the early companies that we gave this to said things like, this is a super weapon. You should have to own a gun license to use it.
True.
Please don't release this.
Yep.
In an initiative called Project Glasswing, Anthropic gave select organizations access to Mythos. Even federal agencies like the National Security Administration clamored to use it, despite Anthropic's blacklisting by the Pentagon.
I think the future is this kind of cat and mouse game where we need to make sure that the good guys have the tools that they need to defend. And then at some point, the bad guys will have it too. And at that point, we have to make sure that...
And give the good guys it for free. Stop making me spend $400 a month on this. Give it to me for free, please. We need more viewers. We need more subscribers.
the good guys have an even better model so they can be ready for this.
Is it possible to stay ahead of the bad guys? Really, though?
That's what we hope.
The criticism is You're effectively deciding who gets access and who doesn't. Why should anyone be comfortable with that kind of concentration of power?
It wasn't like, oh, it's so powerful and let's decide who gets the power. It was a very specific concern around cybersecurity. And so the way that we decided who to give the model to was grounded in that specific fear. There's obviously nuance to decide, like, where do you draw that circle? I think that's really complicated. I think we've tried to be as publicly open as possible to say, we're trying our best to make this decision well, but like...
Guys, the people that got access to Mythos only had access for it for like 1 day. That's it. That's it, guys. That's all they got. That's all they got.
We might not do it perfectly.
What about the folks who say this was just good marketing?
You know, we have suffered enormously commercially from not releasing this model. This model has incredibly accelerated research within Anthropic and production in the next models. It would do the same in the outside world if we were to release it. This has hurt us enormously commercially.
Have you had to make trade-offs already that you're not entirely comfortable with?
Throughout the entire history of Anthropic has been trade-offs, right? In some ideal world, you would prefer to, before you release the first chatbot, you know, you could spend years studying, you know, every possible thing that could go wrong with it. Now, we did delay the initial release of Claude, but, you know, we did it for a few months. So everything is a trade-off. Now that we're in, you know, what I would describe as a commercially leading position, we can afford to move the dial even further towards being careful, right? That's what the Mythos release was about, right? It's very hard to do something like that if you're not the leading player.
There's this argument, why wouldn't the government take you over? Why would they let a private company control technology that's so powerful?
So I actually think that's a very serious question, and I share those concerns. I don't think the government should outright take us over. Every previous...
I don't know, guys. When we look at AT&T, that got taken over. What else? We got defense contracting. That's sort of, I guess it's 50-50, it feels like. Internet providers, everything that needs to do business, financials like mainframe, banks, all sort of taken over by the government in a way.
Powerful technology we've seen in history was either built by the government or originated with the government. So nuclear weapons, obviously, you know, initially built by the government. The internet, GPS, cell phones. AI is the first technology that's been built in the private sector. And where government has not really had a serious role and is coming in late to the game. I think that's actually a dangerous and unstable situation. It is not the situation I would have chosen. This technology, I'm scared of companies having it, but I'm also scared of government having it. And then, you know, we need basic regulation of the technology. You know, more and more, as I've seen what we've seen with Mythos, you know, I think we need to start doing pre-release testing, required pre-release testing, testing and audit.
Yeah, I'm curious, guys. Who's defending their data centers? They only have 3,000 people in their company. Who's defending the access to those data centers?
Of the models.
This was an approach the White House rejected initially. On his first day back in office, President Trump, with the help of former AI and crypto czar David Sachs, dismantled President Biden's AI executive order seeking guardrails. Instead,
guardrails.
Favoring a hands-off, let Silicon Valley do its thing approach.
We believe that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off.
But with Mythos and its national security implications proving hard to ignore, the White House now seems to want to gatekeep the world's most powerful AI.
It's very funny to me how there's a particular group of people in the tech world in Silicon Valley. They started with a position of, like, you know, even having transparency around this technology, even export control, you know, this is all, you know, just totally, it'll apocalyptically destroy our potential to create the technology, it'll kill innovation. And then as soon as they see the first real danger, which I've been expecting all along, there's all this talk of like nationalization and the government should just seize it. come on, folks here, you're yo-yoing from like the most extreme anti-regulatory, if you look at us the wrong way, you're destroying the industry, to, this completely communist, the government should grab it all. We need a more sensible, moderate approach. That's the one we've been favoring all along, because we've understood the power of this technology. We're not panicking, we're not denying it. We see the smooth exponential and we're responding to it appropriately.
The reaction to AI right now, it's intense. Anthropic has built this really loyal following. There are some people who just love what they stand for, but there have also been protests right outside their office. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion. There's some real anger right now about what's happening, and it actually feels like it's escalating.
Artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution.
Whoa.
If you look at the data, people are more concerned than excited about what's going on. They think the risks outweigh the benefits, and the truth is, if you talk to the people who are building this, even they will tell you they don't fully know how it's all going to play out. How do you think about the weight of this moment?
I worry that something will go wrong. Are we doing literally everything we can? We're certainly trying our best. We're certainly trying very hard. What I want is to create a situation where if this set of people can't do it, it couldn't be done. You can't guarantee success, but maybe you can guarantee that.
It's getting personal. Sam Altman's home down the street has been attacked. How is that affecting you?
It was really scary to read that. I mean, we were obviously extremely relieved that he and his family were okay. In general, I think this is a time, technologically, politically, where unfortunately there's just a lot more rhetoric and words that I think can lead to bad outcomes and bad things happening. I hope that this is a topic we can all just debate, as peacefully as possible.
It was scary to me too. I mean, this is like a less savory aspect of the exponential, right? That as AI gets more and more of a big thing, like, it becomes just such a big deal to society. There's more attention on it.
There's been massive backlash against social media. Countries are starting to ban it. Could that happen to AI?
I think it's absolutely possible. If the social media companies could go back in time and see the world that they see today, would they do anything differently? I like to think the answer to that is yes. I don't know. If we sort of project some of the challenges that the social media companies have faced around child welfare, mental health, election integrity, all of these topics, we're really lucky that we're second. We view it as our job to try and proactively think about all of the things that could go wrong. Because if we don't, who's going to?
I don't know that they actually set out to do the right thing or make the world a better place. And so I don't think if they were going back, they would, even knowing what they do, and they certainly should do things differently, I don't know if they actually will. But we can't. This is why we're trying to get this right the first time, instead of waiting for things to go wrong, then scrambling to justify why it's all okay. The main way I could see AI being, banned or blocked is if something really went wrong. And if something really went wrong, then maybe it deserves to be.
You have technologists saying it's going to be amazing and others saying it could be awful. Where are you on that spectrum?
I hope the best, but plan for the worst. For me, this is the most important work I've ever done. For some people, it feels like this is the last job, because this is sort of it could
Sama is a
the end of
demon.
work. And I think for other people, it's, like maybe it's not the last job, but it's existential to get this right. And so there's just this kind of burden.
If the impacts could be
Sam
as
Altman,
significant as we're talking
Yep,
about,
yep.
as significant as Anthropic has warned about, what responsibility do you think Anthropic has to cushion the blow? What do you owe the people whose lives you've upended?
I think our view has always been, we ultimately are responsible as an industry, the industry that's developing this technology, for thinking through what are the risks, what are the bad things that could happen, and if some of those things come to pass, what is our role in helping to think
It's
about
hot, guys.
That is our
It's hot.
job. right? We should not just say, well, we were just trying to grow the product, and suddenly there's an entire generation of young women who have eating disorders or who have mental health problems because whoops, we were just trying to grow the product. That's not the stance that I think.
Hey, you're supporting someone right now buying Codex. I don't know about you.
For a company whose identity is so wrapped up in...
We want to do this right.
We exist as an AI safety company.
How can we just help all of this go well?
It can be hard to understand why Anthropic is pushing so hard to advance AI, while being so upfront about the dangers. In his essays, Dario lays out what the endgame looks like if everything goes right with AI, a utopian future where machines and humans work side by side. AI, an inevitable force, steered toward prosperity rather than catastrophe. To mitigate the devastation of job loss, he proposes solutions like universal basic income and progressive taxation of AI companies.
Hey, free money, guys.
Confront the messy realities of power, politics, and profit. The real challenge is whether that mission can survive the scale of what
This is America, capitalism. Hey.
Google started with the motto, "Don't be evil," a founding promise the company quietly retired as it grew.
Yep.
You are building something incredibly powerful.
Yeah, they might actually just flip that coin, guys. It's like going from open source to closed source.
And stand to gain enormously from it. Why should we trust you?
I think starting from a position
question.
of distrust, you know, if you don't know anything about me, if you don't know anything about Anthropic, is pretty rational. I think Silicon Valley has lost a lot of the world's trust and kind of has to re-earn it. And the message, you know, we're trying to send is we're actually different. And that has to be earned in things that we actually do.
I understand one of your favorite books is The Making of the Atomic Bomb.
That is correct.
Do you see parallels between yourself and Oppenheimer?
The figure I most identified with was Leo Szilard, who was the one who first had the idea that there could be a chain reaction. Look, my view is we're not going to get through this with like larger than life personalities or like figures who try and be at the center of everything. In some ways, I actually see Oppenheimer as a failure case, as what should not happen. There's a lot of powerful actors who have interests here, and the only way it's going to end well for
the
everyone
ego.
is if
Pretty
there's
high.
there's
I mean, he's at $1 trillion right now.
Everywhere.
You've said
Pretty much.
there's roughly a 10 to 25% chance of civilizational collapse. That is
Wait,
not
25%? That's
Is
a
there a
lot.
scenario
That's a lot,
where
guys.
it's something that Anthropic built that caused that?
Yes, it's all the data centers causing mass global warming and using up all the water.
I mean, I certainly hope not.
I actually identify with Einstein.
My view is that that probability comes from the very straightforward recipe of the technology, the existence of many countries in the world, the existence of many companies within an economy and new ones created if the void isn't filled. Like, that's a dilemma that we're in. Half of what we do within the company is try and, you know, reduce the risk as much as we can, but it's never going to be zero. Suppose there are a bunch of, you know, airline companies out there and you're like, well, I'm going to make an airline company that's safer. It can both be the case that, you know, your airline company is 10 times safer than all the other airline companies. But if someone comes and asks you, like, can you guarantee that your airplane will never crash? I mean, how could you? How could you possibly?
But if there was a 25% chance of an airplane crashing, you wouldn't get on that plane.
That's right. 25% is too high. We're trying to make that probability much, much lower. That is.
Guys, we're all in a plane. We're all in a plane, guys. We're all in a plane with a 25% chance of crashing. Weasley, may God have mercy on their souls. Yeah.
That is the goal.
Hey, not bad, guys. Not bad. Not bad. That was a big one. That was a big one. All right. I need to you know, look at the dogs for a bit. Just chill. Has they released the new recording yet? Yep, they released new recording, guys. Gonna listen to this a bit until I come back. Just have a quick bio break, check on the dogs, make some food. You give your dog one treat for me? Sure. Give him a treat. Say it's from microwave.